What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Nathan here with Win with Nathan here at The Lender. On this video, let's talk about using other people's money, right? And I'm not saying let's go borrow someone's $20 and let's go to a restaurant, right? And never pay that person back. I'm talking about let's invest in real estate and how can you get in this with low money down, invest in real estate, use other people's money. So, guys, I invest in real estate. I know I hear it all the time that most lenders and brokers do not invest in real estate, or if they do, they only do one or two, and they do the vanilla stuff. I have a nice little portfolio. I do a bunch of different types of investing in real estate, and I love it all. I love winning. I love helping people win. I think it's great. Using other people's money is a great tool, and personally, a lot of deals are my money. So other people use my money because I like making money. And what I mean by that is if you are good at what you do, let's say you're good at flipping homes, you're good at building homes, you're good at finding deals, and you come to me and say, Nathan, I've got a deal that I can buy at 110. The value afterwards is 250, the ARV. Rehab is $80,000. I need $32,000. I'm trying to remember the numbers. This is one we just closed yesterday. I need $32,000 for the down payment. I need another, I think it was $24,000 for the down payment. I need another $30,000 for carrying costs, which is utilities, permits, the payments for the mortgage, all this stuff. I need to borrow $55,000 total. Cool, right? And I say, hey, I want 15%. What's our exit strategy? What's our play? When are we done? We could be done in 5 to 6 weeks. You're telling me in 6 weeks' time we can be done with the rehab and then put it on the market to sell? Yes. Cool. 15%, you need $55,000. I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that? Yeah. Now, most deals I want 3 options, right? As someone loaning money, I want the ability to buy you out because if it's a great rental property, I want to keep it. If it's a great property where I want to carry the financing because it's a great spread and we can split it instead of me making 15%, I can make maybe 25, 30% because we split the profit. I want that option. And third, I want the option of getting 15% on my money, right? So when a flipper comes to me and says, or a rehabber and says, I need to borrow your money, they don't have the money. I'm okay with it because they have experience. I've seen their work. You might have very little work or be a little more risky and say, hey, I have a portfolio of homes. I have a rental that has 50% equity. I just don't want to tap into it. I don't want to change my mortgage. I might say, perfect. Instead of me putting a lien on the new property, why don't I put a lien on your other rental property as a second lien and give you that money and you can pay it when this one's back? I'm going to be more generous on that because it's secured against a current property, but yet it's for another one, right? Just because I'm loaning you money on this project doesn't mean I can't put a lien against something else. Right? So from a personal standpoint of lending you money, I like to lend money. I'm the other people's money, right? Because I can make more money in the long run with less work, right? If you give me 15% every 6 months, if you annualize it, that means that I'm making over 30% per year and I'm doing the compound effect. I might start with 50. Next time I'm going to loan out 56. Next time I'm going to loan out like 65. And the longer I do that, the more it grows, right? I can also do that play in a self-directed IRA. So for myself, I'm ready to do another project, right? We just closed one yesterday. I'm ready for more. I've got an old 401k. It's got about $71,000 in it. I am moving it over to another self-directed IRA checkbook because I want to be able to loan money out of my retirement. My old 401k was growing at 20% per year. You might be thinking, man, that's great. And it is great. But on average, right, it was growing at 13%. That's still good, but I want more control. So I'm moving it to a self-directed IRA checkbook because in the checkbook, I can go faster. And the people I work with say, hey, if you're going to do this a lot, do a checkbook. It's easier because some flips might take 5 weeks. Some flips might take 6 months. There might be a flip that takes 2 weeks because you just put the money down as gap funding, you loan it out, and then the wholesaler can flip it, right? That's why I'm doing a self-directed IRA, and I get the tax benefits. So for me, I'm always having conversations with people, teaching people how to do this, because if I can make 30% per year, some years maybe more, whatever, I'm growing tomorrow's money that I don't need in a separate account that's being tax benefits that I'll use later on. Now, the other reason I'm doing that, and that many people fail to understand, is that you can buy with your retirement account, your retirement funds, tax benefits like that, you can buy real estate. So if I grow this 71,000, let's say in 3 years time, I'm up to 280,000. Let's just say 300, right? I can take that same 70,000, start back over loaning 70,000 and take the other 230, and I could probably go buy $1 million piece of real estate, whether it be a short-term rental, whether it be a long-term rental, whether it be lease to owns, whether it be apartment complexes. I can go buy gold, silver, so I can diversify within that account. I like the idea of buying an apartment complex for my retirement because that means that within my retirement, right, I'm making income off cash flow, which hopefully every year is slowly going up. And every year, hopefully the principal balance is going down. So I get more cash flow into my retirement account. Then not to mention, I can do things like equity, forced appreciation with doing little remodels out of it, but also appreciation over time, right? That is my retirement. I get the tax benefits of that. Now, if I bought gold and silver, I'm just going to get whatever gold and silver does going up, but there's nothing else going into it like income and all that stuff. But also $200,000 in gold and silver can only go up so high, where $200,000 into an apartment complex, if it goes up 2 or 3% per year, it's a much better appreciation, right? Gap. So that's why you use other people's money. Or excuse me, that's why other people's money is being loaned out to flippers and builders, because we can make that much more money, all right? Because we want to take control. We don't want the Wall Street, the investment firms, the high commissions on that stuff to be there. That's the reason. So from a standpoint of a flipper, I'm looking at doing a new construction. Now I'm going to use someone else's money for it out of their self-directed IRA, because they're not going to do any work on the property. It's going to be under my control. I'm going to work it. I'm going to manage it. And I'm keeping all the proceeds, right? They're just getting their 15%. They're happy. I'm happy, right? So by doing that, I also have a play where this loan that they loan me is also going to have a promissory note that has a lien to this property, because what my strategy is, if this all works out on this, hopefully the city says that we can do a quadplex, but if we can do a quadplex, once the process is all done, I'm going to refinance and pay off the other people's money in the construction loan, and I'm going to have an asset, hopefully that is a quadplex, that is cash flowing pretty well. And guess what? I have no money invested in that asset. You know why? Because I used other people's money. Because I did the numbers up front. I used the down payment from this self-directed IRA of someone else's. I looked at what the mortgage payments would be for 9 to 12 months just in case from that self-directed IRA. Any other carrying costs from that person. They're getting their 15%. The lender who did the construction loans getting their money. Nathan here, if he sells it, gets a profit. But if Nathan doesn't want to sell and wants to refinance it and pay all that off as a rate term refi, I get an asset with no money out of pocket. That's the beauty of real estate. That's the beauty of using other people's money, is that there's a lot of ways to do it, right? I had someone else just come to me and ask me for gap funding. They didn't have $30,000 to buy a piece of land, two lots actually, to build a duplex. Their private lender needed it paid. They were busy for 3 weeks. I'm making a quick buck basically loaning that money out. But if it doesn't get paid, I get my money back, right? Now, excuse me, I get the lots. Those lots are approved for duplexes. So I just got a piece of property for 30 grand that I didn't have to find, and it's already approved for a duplex if the person doesn't pay it, right? So using other people's money is a great strategy. And the way I find self-directed IRAs from people is anytime someone talks like, hey, I'm new into real estate, I'm new into this, I'm new into that, I always say, hey, if you don't mind me asking, do you have an old 401k? Have you moved it yet? You haven't. Have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about loaning it out privately? Have you thought about that? And then I always tell everyone, call this person, call this attorney, call these tax people, watch their videos on YouTube and see the strategies. I can teach you a lot of it, but I'm not the legal part of it, right? Disclaimer. I always tell people to go watch their channels. It's phenomenal what you can do with the self-directed IRA, The reason most people don't talk about it is because most people trust a financial advisor. Financial advisors only get paid off a commission. They don't want to talk about it, right? Because there's no commission to be made. This is a great way that if you're starting off, you can build money. Or excuse me, you could build wealth. You can build money, but you can build wealth by loaning money out and not having to put much work into it. Once you have a partnership with an agent or a flipper, a lot of times the agent is the flipper, they will bring you deals. I've been brought 4 deals in the last 2 months that we're under contract on. I didn't do any work for them. All I did is I defined my fund box, F-U-N-D box, fund. And the person, I said, hey, if you bring me these questions, or excuse me, these answers to the questions I want, and they meet everything that's in my fund box, yeah, I'll do it as long as I have the funds. It's that easy, guys. And the beauty of it is, I'm not doing the work. I'm not chasing down the color patterns. I'm not chasing down the granite, the cabinets, this or that. I'm just making 15% for doing nothing. Now, I listened to a video this morning from Bigger Pockets that says, hey, if you're lucky or your goal is to be 8% cash on cash per year, it's a good property. Well, think about this, guys. If I loan out for 5 weeks, let's just say 10 weeks, 15%, my cash on cash return that year is pretty significant, right? Because you take that same $50,000 and how much did I make off it, how many times I flipped it that year, and divide that by 50,000 because it's the same 50,000, your cash on cash return is much higher. So where Bigger Pockets talks about he's the head of housing or whatever, he says he shoots for 8%. Guys, most of the time I don't get out of bed unless it's 15% or more. So you can win in today's market. You can win with a great strategy. A lot of people just question things because not a lot of people do this because this isn't the sexy short-term rentals, by the room, or whatever you want to call it. So if you have any questions, give me a call. I love teaching strategy. I love investing. It's a great way to make money, whether you want to do it for tomorrow's money, which is self-directed IRAs, or you want to do it in today's money and make money today off it. There's a lot of ways to win. There's a lot of strategies. You don't always have to be the builder, the flipper. You could be the capital partner, right? You could be the private lender. You could be the down payment. You could be the earnest money. You could do a lot of gap fills, right? There's a lot of ways to win and a lot of strategies to win on the back end. So if you have any questions, it's your boy Nathan here with Win with Nathan. Till next time.